I'm Connor, this is Rupert, and you're watching Political Science Theater 2000. Imagine you walk into a business and apply to be the CEO of the company. You have no resume and no experience, but somehow you get hired anyway, and now you run the company. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Put a pin in that. Let's start in high school. You remember secondary school, don't you? It's when everyone tried drugs and had sex for the first time and spent most of their lives pretending that didn't happen. Okay, I said everyone, but that's not totally accurate. The Center for Disease Control reports that 55% of Americans had or are having sex in high school. I guess it depends on which high school you went to and in what era. I'm fairly certain that the high school I attended was more sexually active than that, but I digress. The reality is, most of the smartest kids in my high school were not having sex. They were socially awkward and actually interested in getting good grades, meaning that the popular kids had all the fun. But popularity is a funny thing. It's funny because it's not based on anything rational. Oftentimes, the most popular kids in school were actually the most ill-equipped to transition to being adults because responsibility was always given the back seat to the prospect of popularity. Why the fuck am I talking about high school? Because American politics is high school on a really grand billion-dollar scale where human lives are at stake. Though you think I'm joking, because why? You have faith for the deep-seated respect of elected officials to carry out their duty to God and country, right? Or is it because you've served your country in uniform and somehow confused the respect you gave your uniform with the respect members of Congress give their mistresses? Let me tell you right now, the greatest political analogy ever put on video is The Wizard of Oz. The American political system is so full of class clowns and popular kids wearing suits, they might as well be throwing paper airplanes in Congress. Let me explain. There's an election coming, and someone decides to run for public office. They have zero resume to run a government, like zero. They know nothing about political issues. They don't vote, have never protested, joined a union, or run any sort of business where balancing a budget is necessary. They have no foreign policy experience, and maybe have a college education, and maybe not. But this person is fucking popular. They're just cool as fuck, and you like them, and you like their personality, and you don't even know why. So you elect them. You elect them to allocate and decide what the government spends tax money on, and how much you pay in taxes in the first place. You elect them to negotiate wars with foreign leaders. You elect them to make laws that you have to live by. Okay, pause. Seriously, every law that exists, the ones you hate, the ones you don't, are all 100% written and voted in by politicians. So when people say we shouldn't discuss politics at the table, well, excuse me, family I don't like that much anyway, but fuck you. These populist ass clowns are giving their friends billion-dollar government contracts for things we don't need with our tax money. So yes, Becky, I think I'll talk about politics while you pick broccoli out of your teeth. Unpause. And rather than elect somebody nerdy or socially awkward with a great resume, you elect a fucking clown. Because they're popular. Congratulations, that's the American political system. Oh, and it's bipartisan. 100%. Both Democrats and Republicans are fuckboy class clowns, or the equivalent for the female gender, or non-gender specific, or anyway. You have to see why the entire world is getting caught in this political nightmare. We expect our politicians to be ladies and gentlemen. We expect them to be high class and intelligent. But they're not. They're literally a bunch of jocks, bullies, and class clowns who learn to fake empathy long enough to play the victim and make you feel bad for them while they're getting attacked. So what's the cure for this? I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be brutally honest. There is no cure. None. Why? Because 99% of you are going to fucking elect the Terminator. Or the idiot from The Apprentice. You're going to elect that career douchebag just because he's a slick-talking, sweet, bumbling old man that reminds you of your creepy uncle that hugs you too much. Or that complete bitch who feels like she's owed the presidency. But don't get me wrong, I liked Arnold Schwarzenegger. I disagree with about 60% of his politics, but he's a decent person. I mean, he did have a child with his housekeeper and sell energy to other states that caused rolling blackouts in California, but hey, he's good on the environment. Or so he says. My point is, he had zero political resume. zero experience running any sort of brick or mortar business or in international relations. He wasn't in the military, he wasn't a lawyer, he wasn't a police officer, he hadn't been a firefighter, he never served his country in uniform. But he was rich. He ran great ads. He was the governor. I voted for him, I admit, because I wasn't very smart back then. Arnold replaced a guy named Gray Davis, who was governor of California, until the richest member of Congress ever decided he wanted his job. That is, Gray Davis's. So he set a recall vote in motion, backed by over $50 million of his own money. Who was this rich piece of shit member of Congress? Darrell Issa. Pause. You can pay to get someone out of office? Well, yeah, kind of. With enough signatures, you can do anything. And if you have the money to pay people full-time to get those signatures, eventually you'll start a recall election. I'll do a video on that sometime. And on Issa. Because fuck Darrell Issa. Unpublished. The problem, my friends, the actual problem, and the reason this won't get better, is you. Truth be told, all you have to do is look in the mirror. Because you'll vote for a bully. They might bully people you don't like, but you'll still do it. You'll vote for someone with no experience. You'll vote for an idiot because they have bravado. And you'll vote for a narcissist because you love their image almost as much as they do. Anyway, imagine you walk into a business and apply to be the CEO of the company. You have no resume and no experience, but somehow you get hired anyway. What fucking world are you living on? But that's politics. And that was Arnold Schwarzenegger, governor of California. By contrast, in America, the president picks a Secretary of Defense as part of his cabinet. The president's closest advisors, right? The Secretary of Defense has usually been in the military for 30 plus years and is a high-ranking military general. He then serves a guy who potentially has no resume or experience that just won a really big popularity contest. That sounds legit. You know what else sounds legit? The person who won that popularity contest can now fire the general at any time they want. I know, mind blown. Or maybe not. So I can give you lots of recommendations on how to become a politician. It seems, however, that there are only two surefire ways to make it, and it helps if you can do both. First, be popular. You gotta be cool. Make everyone want to have a drink with you. Appear tough by talking shit about anyone that opposes you, but yet still find an air of compassion. Basically be a populist. Appeal to all age groups, genders, ethnicities, and social classes while still being a bully. But only against those your base doesn't like. Find a good punching bag and stick with it. Shake hands, take selfies, and be a celebrity for no fucking reason. And second, be rich. Yeah, being rich is number 2. I have to be honest though, being rich alone doesn't usually work. And being popular and poor can work. So 2 is definitely a distant second. But if you're popular and have unlimited resources, nothing would stop you. So there you go. All of you worthless, popular kids, you can grow up to rule the world. And all of you brilliant, nerdy kids, you get to debate which shitty candidate is better than the other. And then go vote. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, everybody. What I need you to do right now is make sure you like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe, click on notifications, and if you have any friends that you think would find this informative or useful, make sure you send it out to them. I'm going to see you guys next time, everyone, and thank you for watching.